Once again, welcome. And today we are truly honored to welcome a remarkable young talent whose story has touched hearts across the globe. Born in Islin, New Jersey, to a family of Indian descent, Sparsh Shah is not only an extraordinary rapper, singer, and songwriter, but also a powerful motivational speaker who has inspired millions with his words and music. And definitely, I'm one of them. So please join me in welcoming the unstoppable force of positivity that is Sparsh Shah. Welcome, Sparsh. It's really an honor to have you here.
And it's an honor to hear such lovely words of introduction. That means so much.
Thank you so much. So Sparsh, just can you take us back to your early days, like what inspired your love for music and poetry?
Yeah, beautiful question. I've always felt like music was a seed in my life. Because if you were to ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, when I was little, guess what, I would have told you.
Wow.
Feel free. Let me know. What do you think? You can say anything. What do you think I would have said when I was a kid that I wanted to do?
You wanted to do become a big songwriter?
Actually, no.
No?
No. It wasn't even artistic related.
No, it wasn't. A doctor?
You're getting closer. You're getting warmer. I used to tell people I wanted to be a paleontologist. In other words, I really loved ancient animals, dinosaurs and all of that. So I had even planned to go all the way to Yale and study. That was my whole kid dream. So the only reason I even bring that up is because, like I said, music was a seed. And I think that it was born in the fossil soil of my paleontology dreams. Because I always had a bond with music. And so when mom and dad would take me with them on long drives in our car, right? And mom has an extensive playlist. She has Hollywood songs and Bollywood songs. And then she would just play and they would be singing along and I would be humming. And then they were like, wait, that's Sparsh. And then later on, it got to the point as I started speaking, I was like, Papa, Mama, you're not singing this right.
Right.
And that's when they were like, wait, there's something here. And so, long story short, it's been more than 13 years of training between Indian classical music and Western music, both privately and also, through the school system. And as we had talked about before, right? We got here on this interview, now I'm doing college in music. So
Absolutely. And you're going to graduate soon.
Yes.
Congratulations for
that. Thank
that.
you so much. Yeah, no, it's been such a beautiful experience. And ultimately, now that music has really flowered, that seed has flowered, and I know this is what I want to do, I've basically just I would say that my entire career is me watering that seed so that it could bear fruit, because ultimately the fruit that I gain from the seed that is music, that is not mine. That's God's.
You know, Sparsh, what you just said, I think your age people, kids, won't talk like that. I feel like you're very mature for your age and everything else. So tell me, what gives you this inner strength to talk like that?
I mean, in a sense, it's everything. Because just even this conversation is a moment of inspiration. It doesn't matter whether it's maybe something as obvious as nature or it's something maybe as mundane as a silent moment with someone. But I feel like the most beautiful part of being an artist is to be able to look at life as I can tell a story and tell the story in a way that can help someone, whether it be going through a tough time, because we talk about that a lot, or it can just be helping someone celebrate a good moment.
Wow.
And that is the gift that we've been given. I mean, you have that, people like you who have been seeing my journey, my fans and my friends for such a long time, and my family, because they gave me the values that got me this far. And ultimately God, because I mean, He is my strength. Like
Absolutely.
I had 2 days to live when I was born. I am, by the grace of God, about to turn 22 by the end of this month. So there's no other reason I'm here. That's why I said the fruits are not mine, they're His.
Absolutely. You know, Sparsh, I have to say that I'm one of your followers and I have been following you, whatever you are doing, you know, I have been following you. So I want to talk about your cover of Eminem's Not Afraid, which went viral. So tell me, what made you choose that song and how did it change your life?
Yeah, that's so brilliant because I can imagine too, right? Like, at least a lot of parents who are watching, a 12-year-old listening to Eminem, red flag, anyone? And I grew up in a household where, forgive me for the technical swear, but like I couldn't even say the word heck. I would get punished for that.
That's every Indian household.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I'm so grateful that I got that value system, because without that, I would not have, been able to say to the people who made this power chair, like they asked, do you want something custom embroidered on it? And I'm like, can we put my stage name, Pure Rhythm?
Right.
That's what pure rhythm means, pure plus rhythm. And it's because of that value system. So going back to Not Afraid, when I listened to that song, I mean, it was like okay, yes, Eminem is cursing in the song and stuff like that, but ultimately the core of the message, it was powerful.
Very
it
powerful.
was, I mean, I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together through the storm, whatever weather, cold or warm. Just letting you know that you're not alone. Holla if you feel like you've been down the same road. It's just, it was foundational for me. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. This is just the surface level, really. If you go deep into my life, this song was the start of so much change in my life. It radically changed me. And ultimately, I think the song gave me the opportunity to share what God gave me in a way that the people could understand. And I think it's when you build bridges like that, that's the reason that, both musically, the way that I did that, but also in terms of emotion and the attitude behind the song. Once that happened, I think that's why that cover became viral.
And it's like when you started just singing, I felt like, wish I could listen to him all the time. And it's like your voice is really mesmerizing. It's amazing.
Thank you. That means so much.
Tell me, you have spoken on like TEDx and many global platforms. So how do you prepare for these motivational speeches?
Yeah, beautiful question. I mean, first and foremost, if I haven't written the speech, then it will be writing. And I will be honest with you too. Actually, one of my struggles is starting things. Like if it's a big speech or a big project, I will say that I've had to overcome that hurdle of, man, this feels like too much. But to kind of take from a famous story, I have kind of taught myself, like, hey, if something in front of you looks like a Goliath, then you have to turn it into a bunch of little Davids and sling them one by one.
Right.
So, in other words, what I'm just saying is that sometimes it's all about just getting started. And once you get started, the river starts flowing. And when the river starts flowing, you're in flow state, which means that you're in the best position to get that done. And so, and I'm not saying that it would happen all at once. I feel like, when you're connected to the very river of life,
Exactly.
flow state happens anytime, and it's a relationship, and it's not a turn off, turn on kind of thing. But writing the speech, and then the rest is really just practice. You're practicing not just when you're done, but even in the interims, right? Going to the people you trust, going to my mom and dad and even my brother, and saying, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And, being completely open to, they might just say like, hey, you lost me at like 5 minutes in of a 30-minute speech. That's not good. So, okay, reiterate, revise, rework. And that is how that's how cold becomes diamonds. It's through the pressure and the polishing.
Wow. So tell me, like, when you're prepping for all these things, whether it's a music video, whether it's your motivational talk, do you go to your parents, do they say, no, this is not how it's done, let's do it this way? Do you have no, mom, I want to do it this way, or dad, hey, it has to be done a certain way? So how do you deal with all that pressure from them?
No, I wouldn't really say that it's pressure in the sense. It's really it's all about open communication. It's about going back and forth. I think it's about coming into it, all of us together, with the expectation of, I want your 110% honesty, and I will give you 110% honesty, and we're doing this because I know that you're not out to get me. You're not out to hurt me. You're out to make me better. And then it just flows out of a place of love and not out of a place of self-preservation, I think. And you know what? There was something that you had said, and it kind of is. Yes. Okay. So there's a song that's coming out very soon. Actually, we had previewed it this Valentine's Day. I had worked on it with a Berkeley professor.
Wow.
And actually, the same kind of conversation happened with me and my mom. And, in the song, it has a very, easy to hear hook, but the verses are like fast-paced rap. And originally, both verses were fast-paced rap. And my mom was listening to both verses, and she's like, okay, the first one is good because I can kind of understand you're using very common people language. Okay, it might go over my head the first time because you're rapping so fast. But if I listen to it the second time, I know what you're saying. But the second verse, it's like there's so much metaphor that if I could maybe listen to this 5-10 times. And mind you, I don't have English as my first language, so it's never going to really hit. Can you find a way to make it appealing? And I was in the middle because it's like, it's a love story. The song is a love story. And the reason I had put so much metaphor is like, everyone does love songs. In fact, I had a conversation with the producer once, and I love what he said. He said every song is a love song.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. I totally agree. But this was a love song, like romance. And so I was like, see, I want to come at it from a different angle, right? I don't want to you can say I love you, but okay, those are just 3 words.
Right.
What does that mean? And so I kind of had to come in a middle ground to say, how can I make my metaphors accessible? So that even when, we slowed it down a bit, the rhythm, we made it easier to hear. And by the end, mom appreciated it too, where I was coming from. I appreciated where mom was coming from. And again, when you constantly are reminding yourself that we're not out here to give each other constructive criticism because we're trying to tear each other down.
Absolutely.
We're doing this to build each other up. When that attitude you remind yourself of from, both sides, but I can't control what anyone else thinks except me. So when I'm coming to that with that attitude, that song became 10 times better because I listened to mom.
Wow, that is really amazing. But what I want you to do is just rap for us that only beautiful song. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the second verse. I was in Norca swimming alone, looking for love and a home, singing like I was the last of my kind, but who knew that you I would find? We were two penguins strutting around, telling the world true love we had found. Then we bowed, made our vows, till death do us part like coyotes howl. You're the tree where I found rest. So we started building our nest, and the fruit of your womb was blessed. So our kids were the pride of a lioness. Now we're like a wolf pack. You lead from the front, I lead from the back. Until we're gone, we'll love like swans, swimming together from dusk to dawn.
Very nice, Sparsh. Really, very nice.
Thank you.
So I know you have a lot of fans out there, and I'm also one of them.
And I'm grateful for all of you.
Thank you. So tell me, who do you want to be ultimately in the music?
Ooh, I would say that I don't want to be someone in relation to music. I want to be music, if that makes sense. In other words, I just want to be God's instrument. That's it. I want to be the kind of music that he wants to share with the world. And so whatever that takes, I just, I would rather listen to and write from the silence than sing my own melody. So whether it's a love song or whether it's a dance song or whether it's something more spiritual or whether it's something more, a hype it up type of song or an inspirational song like the one I had, just recently released with two of my Berklee classmates. Whatever the kind of song is, I mean, pure rhythm is pure plus rhythm for a reason. And I want to be someone ultimately, I guess, who can let our people know that because I've heard, I remember when I was in high school for first or second day, and I started having a conversation with someone a few years older than me. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about music. And I told him my dreams and everything. And, he was talking about how, a lot of the kind of music that we're hearing nowadays, it's what sells. And, it really just struck me with like fire inside. Like, I want to be an artist who the world can look to and say, this person didn't just make music with a purpose. Mm-hmm. He made music with passion. And the purpose and the passion show up in the art, not just in the words that he speaks, but also in the music that goes with it. It's nothing less than, as Mr. Vince Lombardi would put it, perfection is unattainable. Mm-hmm. But if we can chase perfection, we will catch excellence. That's it. And that's how I want to become his instrument.
Sparsh, I really love the way you're very philosophical and the way you are, answering the questions. I really do love it. So I want to ask you, I know you are going to be performing or singing something which is coming soon with one of your cousins or somebody.
Yeah, so the rap verse that I had shared with you, that's one song that's coming soon. So it's called Nature's Crowning Jewel. I got to make that with my professor, Mr. Ralph Kinchek. He goes by Ralphie Keys. That was very fun. I learned how to produce music with Logic. Logic Pro X is like a computer music production software. So I learned quite a bit from him. And then afterwards, we'd become very close friends. And so he had shared with me an idea he had. He's like, I think that you should be the person to write on this. And he gave the music, and that set the foundation for a beautiful song in terms of lyric, melody, and everything. I have another song out too that's also a Berklee, it's Berklee made. Like I had mentioned, the two friends. The first one is Sydney Jones. She's the one who came to me with the song idea. And then we both went to our classmate from the same Berklee class that we were in, and his name is Mr. Stephen Cole Manning, and so he helped to produce and mix and master the song. So it's called Limitless People. I actually have it pulled up here. I can share with you a verse.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
All right, cool. Digital, physical, blending our sight. Typical visuals lining our lives. Standards and images try to define how we should be. But you know there's nothing stopping me. I can be anything that I wanna be. Through obstacles impossible, I'll rise to the top, strong and free. This limitlessness fills my world with infinite light. I'm winning with gracious impetus, now uplifting this life. On a path with a purpose countless, we're grounded on the earth with prowess, innately in tune to the power, cause this love is boundless. When love strikes our world, we are limitless people, and nothing can break our limitless freedom. And life saturates with a vision much sweeter. Wherever we take it, we're spreading the signal right now.
You know, Sparsh, yes, that was really beautiful, what you just sang.
Thank you
but
so
I
much.
also know that August 15th, you are going to be singing something. Just tell us a little bit about it. I know you can just tell us the whole thing right now, but just a little bit.
No, all good. So I know that you had recently interviewed Dr. Krupesh Uncle, right? Yes, Dr.
Yes,
Krupesh
yes.
Thakkar. So actually, you know, we've been hanging out recently too, and so I got to know his daughter Vacha, who you were talking about, and so we had just been thinking that we might do some sort of patriotic collab for the 15th, because Independence Day is coming. Why not? You know, honor the country that gave us the values that brought us here. So I'm super excited.
And I'm sure, you know, I have heard her and she's an amazing singer too.
Oh yeah,
She is.
yeah.
And I think this is going to be really awesome, you too. But is it going to be like a fusion kind of a thing? Like, is that what it is going to be?
Not exactly sure yet. It's still in the baby stages. But one thing is for sure, it's gonna be pure rhythm.
But anything else you want to tell our viewers, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to say that I love you all. I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your days to hear a little bit about me and my story. Thank you for, you know, giving your time and your energy and just sharing in this beautiful exchange. I mean, if there's anything that I want to say, it's just that new stuff is coming soon. It's been a very interesting, I think, not just with college, but ever since COVID, it's kind of been like I'm in the woodshed. And I'm super excited because there's a lot of crafting going on, both outwardly and inwardly. And I want to share the transformation because perhaps it might help someone else turn the impossible into I'm possible in their lives. So
You know,
new music is coming soon, new stuff. We've got stuff.
I definitely want to thank you. It's really an honor to talk to you and get to know you better. So wishing you all the best, of course, for your college, for your graduation and everything else, and for your music and everything.
Thank you so much, Auntie. It means so much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.